Hello and welcome to episode 120 of WITM. As is time for, I did the rankings update off screen. Now let's find out how that rankings update affects the WITM 3. Also, so you're not completely in the dark about what happens outside the WITM 3. Go over the important things that happened to the rest of the roster. But we'll start off with the WITM 3. We'll start off with, first on the list, Andrew. And check out the divisions he is a part of and singles action, which Andrew has not been a part of in a long time. Because of that, he falls further and further down the rankings. Andrew at number 16 out of 32, so exactly in the middle of the pack. In contention for the NXT Championship held by Noam Dar. In the Cruiserweight rankings, not a whole lot better. Andrew sits at number 14 out of 25, again, right in the middle of the pack. Hopefully with this new thing Andrew and I came up with where Andrew does not wrestle 2 tag team matches in the same week, Andrew will get more opportunities to climb up those singles rankings. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see what happens when it comes to the division that Andrew has been competing in, NXT's tag division. Following that loss to the Bollywood Boys, the Double Hardcore Cruisers fall to number 2 below hashtag DIY, who did pick up a victory on 205 Live, defeating American Alpha, who shouldn't have even been booked on 205 Live, but I did not catch that they were until after I already hit start show and could not edit the card. And the Bollywood Boys 1 spot below them, so if they face again on 205 Live and the Bollywood Boys win, the Double Hardcore Cruisers fall to number 3 and the Bollywood Boys take their place at number 2, or potentially get that tag team title shot that almost belonged to the Hardcore Cruisers. With a Bollywood Boys victory and a DIY loss, that would be the case. Alright, next up on the list is Corey. And his rankings update is a mix of good news and bad news. I actually forgot to credit his loss here, so I'll do that now. Corey did set number 5, so he, even with his loss on the SmackDown portion of the main event, he did gain a spot because Seth Rollins, one of the men he defeated in the SmackDown triple threat, the other man being Roman Reigns, was the man right ahead of him in the rankings. So Rollins set at 4. By winning that SmackDown match, Corey moved up to 4. And then, or Corey moved up to 3. And then with Corey losing on the SmackDown portion of the main event, they swapped spots. Rollins back to 3, Corey to 4. So Corey still started off the week at number 5. He ends the week still 1 spot ahead of where he was, now sitting at number 4 in the WWE Championship rankings. Still on the outside looking in for any WWE Championship match, but a 6-man match moving up to 3 would at least give Corey the possibility of being part of a fatal 4-way. And in the Intercontinental Championship rankings, where Corey was number 1 contender, he, no surprise, falls to number 2. The WWE Champion AJ Styles is number 1 contender. Corey could still get in an Intercontinental Championship match, however, with the number 2 slot, because AJ Styles, the match that AJ Styles would likely be booked in would be a WWE Championship defense. Alright, as for Serena, and also I'll quickly read off the status effects and stuff too. I forgot that. Andrew has a status effect still of +2 momentum. So his defensive attributes and momentum attributes are up by 2 from their normal. That increases Andrew's base overall by 1 to 97. As for Corey, he does still have a stats effect. He has momentum as well. That increases his momentum and defensive attributes modestly by 1. That is not enough to increase his overall. It remains at his base of 90. Now, as for Serena, she does still have a status effect, a momentum status effect as well. Hers is stacked by 4, increasing her momentum and defensive attributes by 4. Now let's see where she sits in the rankings. And also, I believe that increases her overall by 3 to 89. From her base of 80, I believe 86. Serena, still Raw Women's Champion. Her current number 1 contender, now 2 weeks away from Survivor Series, is the most recent former Raw Women's Champion, Bayley, who Serena has already successfully defended the Raw Women's Championship against and defeated to become Raw Women's Champion in a fatal 4-way. As for her NXT Women's Championship, her current number 1 contender remains Alicia Fox. Her rival Ember Moon at number 2. WITM's part-timer Anna sits at number 3. The woman who defeated her on NXT was at the very bottom of the NXT Women's Championship rankings. She does move up 2 with that non-title victory over Serena to number 6, but unlikely that Serena will have to worry about facing her at NXT TakeOver Toronto with her NXT Women's Championship on the line. More likely it will be Alicia Fox, Ember Moon, or maybe even Anna, or any combination of those women. Important bullet points for the rest of the roster are, I'll just go through the results here. We'll just go through the titles real quick and read off the top 5. Jericho, Lesnar, Owens, Wyatt, and Cena are the top 5 to Dean Ambrose Universal title. Rusev, Ziggler, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and Miz are the top 5 to Ambrose's U.S. title. Enzo and Cass, New Day, The Club, the Vaudevillains, and the Hype Bros are the top 5 contenders to Eric Rowan and Luke Harper's Raw Tag titles. And we already looked at the contenders for Serena's Raw Women's title. On SmackDown, we pretty much already looked at the contenders there, but we'll review them again. Balor, Cesaro, Rollins, Corey, and Orton are the top 5 contenders to AJ Styles' WWE Championship. Styles, Corey, Sheamus, Balor, and Slater are the top 5 contenders to Cesaro's Intercontinental Championship. The top 5 contenders to Cesaro and Sheamus' SmackDown Tag titles are the Authors of Pain, the Shining Stars, American Alpha, the Ascension, and Beauty and the Man Beast. And the top 5 contenders to Eva Marie's SmackDown Women's title are Billie Kay, Nikki Bella, Mandy Rose, Aaliyah, and Alexa Bliss. Recent NXT call-ups making up 3 of the top 5 contenders to SmackDown's to Eva Marie SmackDown Women's Championship that she has held beginning in WITM Season 2. Alright, Serena is not booked on Raw, so I already took the liberty of simming this card, and I just have to jot down the results. Samoa Joe defeats Baron Corbin. Apollo Crews defeated Blake and Darren Young. The Vaudevillains defeated the New Day, represented by Big E and Kofi Kingston. Enzo and Cass to defeat the Hype Bros. The Club with a non-title victory over the Raw Tag Team Champions, Rowan and Harper, of the Wyatt family. I do realize right now the Wyatt family in real life currently just consists of Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and following the events of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that took place tonight, they may not even be together much longer. So, once the Wyatts and WITM drop the Raw Tag titles, I will likely disband them, since the only two current members of the Wyatts rarely are Orton and Bray Wyatt, and in WITM they are on separate shows. Just don't want to unfairly strip the Wyatts of their Raw Tag titles. Dean Ambrose defeated Dolph Ziggler. And John Cena defeats Kurt Hawkins. So 3 tag matches, and Kurt Hawkins in the main event. Still no utilization on the main roster of the women's division of Raw. Quite a shame, with that, of course, being headlined by Serena. SmackDown Live, Sami Zayn, the man who defeated Corey, is in action. Will Corey be in action? He will not. So, we sim this SmackDown Live, and we will look to NXT for our next match and see if Andrew and or Serena is in action. Let's jot down these results first. Mark Henry with an upset victory over Finn Balor. The Shining Stars with a victory over Beauty and the Man Beast. Mandy Rose with a non-title victory over SmackDown Women's Champion Eva Marie and Aaliyah. Sami Zayn defeats Kane. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats AJ Styles. Now that would be a heck of a match. So that's a non-title victory for Shinsuke Nakamura. And good news for Corey, because AJ Styles is the man ahead of him in the Intercontinental title rankings. Roman Reigns defeats the Intercontinental Champion Cesaro, so he'll move up 2 slots in the Intercontinental title rankings. I believe he now sat at the bottom of. And we turn to NXT, hoping to find our next WITM match there, and we will. Serena will be in action to go home NXT before NXT TakeOver Toronto. Taking on Carmella. Will Andrew be in action? He will not. So again, whatever match he has on 205 Live is booked on 205 Live for Andrew. If he is booked, will be the match he participates in. Alright, so our episode 121 match and our go home our match right now here in episode 120 is Serena and Carmella. And is that a hardcore match? It is. Alright, so because we did not start this episode with NXT, we will have to watch the intro package. So let me get the music prepared for that, and we will get to that. All right, so let's get this NXT underway. Okay, start it off with a promo from the NXT champion Oni Lorcan, or rather the Cruiserweight champion Oni Lorcan. Then Jack Gallagher defeated Lince Dorado and Aria Daivari. Golden Truth defeated Breezango. And now it's time for our episode 119 match. 120 match. Could this be Serena's last appearance in an NXT show at NXT's home turf of the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida? If she loses her NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Toronto, that will be the case. Carmella gained the honors of this match against Serena and moving up 2 slots in the NXT Women's Championship rankings. That could possibly be enough for Carmella to get that championship match. Serena normally falls count anywhere. Hardcore matches are her element, very dangerous in that setting. But last week she lost to Nikki Cross in just 2 minutes of the crossface. Can Carmella deliver Serena a similar fate? And since Serena seriously questioning herself into her NXT TakeOver Toronto title defense, or will we see Serena regain some momentum heading into that important title matchup? Let's find out here in episode 120. Serena and Carmella, Falls Count Anywhere.
I'm getting goosebumps anticipating this one. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match, and it happens next. We have one of the best talents on the roster to date versus Carmella.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see these two go at it.
is.
My name is Carmella.
F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S, yes. Diamonds on my neck. Yes, I'm fabulous.
Fabulous.
They keep hating on me, I don't stress. Don't got time for this, 'cause I'm fabulous. Capiche? Big hair, high heels, and the fur jacket is out so fresh. You wishing you could check it. Ain't nobody else got money like this. Diamonds on my neck and a new leopard print. Fresh mani petty and designer brands. Got a necklace so big I can hardly stand. Everybody knows that I'm fabulous and I'm the baddest chick around. Try step to this. Come on. F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S, yes.
Yes.
Diamonds on my neck. Yes, I'm fabulous.
Fabulous. What's up?
They keep hating.
And there's the bell.
All right, and here we go.
That you can show
The
some
crowd again chanting NXT. Despite her shortcoming last week, Serena
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
has
if this
been
match ended in our laps before it's all said and done.
one of the
Both
top
these
attractions
superstars
here
are
on
gonna find out
NXT.
about themselves real quick. Regardless, we and the rest of the WWE.
But for how much longer, we'll find out in just days at NXT TakeOver Toronto.
and she pulls it
Series
in
of knee strikes to the head of Carmella.
Ooh, that did it.
Mounted punches connect. And Carmella rolls out of the way to evade the stomp. Serena trying to give chase, but Carmella's already made her way back in the ring. Irish whip into the ropes.
Wow, she gets tossed in that exchange.
Stomp to the back.
Going all
Carmella looking to take flight.
Long way up.
I believe that is the first time.
And Carmella connects with a drop kick. Stomp to the arm.
She's starting to take a beating.
Submission locked in. Carmella trying to do what Nikki Cross did last week. Target that head with the submissions early and often. But this time Serena gets out quick.
Well. That's the first time tonight
Se-
we've seen that.
Now this is the Serena we know and love. Those heavy kicks to the head of Carmella. Now stomps to the back.
On an absolute tear right now.
Carmella avoids damage there.
Reversal by Carmella.
Nice dodge there.
Serena catches the leg. And locks in a submission of her own.
There it is.
Targeting the head.
Whoa!
And she fights her way out.
And Carmella powers out.
She's starting to put moves together. Watch out.
She's on a roll.
Carmella to her feet. Irish whip into the ropes.
Wow. She's showing
Sit out powerbomb. Goes for cover.
Quick pin.
Look at this action. And there's still
And Carmella powers out.
Yeah, let's go.
Series of ground elbow strikes.
The entire Divas roster on notice here.
Forces Carmella to her feet. Thinking chick kick. And it connects.
Hey!
Goes for cover.
Hey, she's got some fight left.
And Carmella powers out 2.5. Serena in disbelief. She thought she had the victory. Forces Carmella to her feet. And it's a reversal by Carmella. Serena gets behind Carmella. Connects with a swinging neck breaker.
Carmella anticipates it.
Reversal by Carmella. Carmella evades the grapple and then reverses.
Great reversal.
Reversal by Serena.
Carmella totally vulnerable at this point.
Forcing Carmella on the ropes. Is she thinking stratisfaction? Indeed she is. Or no, she's thinking missile drop kick to that outside. And it connects.
She can end it here.
Yes, sir.
Carmella sent crashing to the barricades, and Serena Falls Count Anywhere. I can follow that up with a cover. And also follows up with a victory. This time, Serena, much more what we expect of her. And some clips for a new entrance video in this match I will put together. It's a victory for Serena, and she regains ever important momentum heading into NXT TakeOver Toronto. Alright, so I'm actually going to stop the episode right here because from this menu I need to pick what clips from this match I want to put in Serena's new entrance video, which will debut unless Serena is booked for the Raw portion of the main event, fittingly in her NXT Women's Championship defense at NXT TakeOver Toronto. So that is going to do it for episode 120. Until 121, this is Corey signing off.